Hi, everybody. This is Rich Gibbons with SpeakInc, and today we are here in hot Phoenix, Arizona, Scottsdale, with author of 100 Things and Aussie sensation, Seb Terry. Seb.
Aussie sensation. Thank you.
Good to see you. Seb is going to be addressing a group of real estate pros, and I'm really looking forward to it. For those out there that are not familiar with your story of origin and your backstory on how you came to the platform, just quickly give the viewers a sense of how you came to your practice.
Sure. Hi everyone. I'm Seb. So I have a list of 100 things that I am pursuing to find happiness and purpose in life. I've been doing it for about 15 years, and it happened after the loss of a childhood friend of mine, and I realized in that moment that I was really unhappy, and I thought, well, how do I deal with this? What do I do? I'm really unhappy. So I created a list, dropped everything in my life to do it, pursued it, did some very bizarre things on there, from delivering a stranger's baby to marrying a stranger in Las Vegas to walking across the country to, and I guess that all led to helping people.
Right.
I found that it was all very, worthwhile personally to achieve goals, but it was the connection that was actually the most important thing to me.
Right.
So years on, it's not just about me anymore, it's about a community, and in that there's lots of lessons.
Right. Well, and so one of the things that Seb talks about is sort of the, therapeutic maybe to highfalutin a term, but that goal setting and going after these goals and understanding your goals and my goals, that there is a foundational component of mental well-being there that you talk about. And at the risk of getting too heavy too soon, obviously, you talk about coming out of COVID and how that impacted all of our psyches, and with each passing decade, it seems like there are more sort of injurious insults to our mental well-being. What are you sort of bullish and sanguine on the future, or do you see? Obviously, we need to buttress ourselves against those factors. But what's your outlook?
It's positive. Obviously there was a huge adversity that affected everyone, but I think adversities happen on personal levels every day, whether it's in the workplace, out of the workplace. The thing that I really like to talk about at length is this idea of passion, being able to integrate passion into the things that we do personally and professionally. And I think if we are able to do that, we not only unlock limitless amounts of creativity and motivation and resilience and a lot of other wonderful words, not just for ourselves, but we actually unlock that in people around us, those same qualities, whether that's our family members, people in our community, people in the workplace, our clients.
There's a contagion there.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, I call it the passion effect, but contagion that's a good word too.
Yeah, contagious.
So I speak about that, and I think the implications on mental wellness, I think performance also, and also building a healthy culture it's all part of that ripple. I think if you are able to create a community of like-minded people who are all very passionate and working on purpose, I think it is the foundation of being able to build a thriving culture. Yeah.
So there, for those that have not seen Seb speak, you need to. And kind of like when you're like, oh, I just saw this movie and God, it was really great. And we're like, well, what was so great about it? Like, you just had to be there. It's almost defies description. But like a lot of platform performers that ostensibly make it look easy, they make it look easy because they're very well practiced and they're very proactive and intentional about what they do. And I think one of the things that I love about this guy is that your content can be incredibly poignant and heartfelt and thought-provoking, but then 10 seconds later, everybody is busting a gut like they're at a stand-up comedy club. So is that, I would imagine that's something that you're doing by intent and that it's being sort of constructed.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm just being myself, and that's what I've learned over the years is the best way for me to speak. I've been speaking for 12 years, and at first I did it because people just invite me randomly, having heard my story or maybe read my book or reality show or whatever it was. But now I've learned to, there was even a time, complete honesty, that I tried to be a speaker. I thought, I must try and be like this. That's how the other people do it. And I've come back to realize, of course, that you've just got to be yourself. So I do like having a joke. We've had many. So I like trying to make these sessions as memorable as possible. And I think if you're able to evoke emotions all of the emotions in one session, that's a key to a really powerful session. So people will laugh, they will cry every time, they will think, and they'll take action too. It's not just a story about someone who's done stuff. It really brings up some important concepts about living well, I think. And I think if you're able to untap and really reach that limitless potential we all have, that's when people are moved by that.
Yeah.
They really are. So, the thing that I've been working on a lot over the last few years is not just telling a story and people go, well, you just had to be there, but actually leaving a framework for people to have actionable go-tos afterwards.
Yeah, putting scaffolding around the idea and the concept and helping them sort of architect their own goals and moving toward that. So what you were talking about there is like, oh, well, I need to be a speaker and I need to have, if you're authentic, audiences can't help but love you. And that is something that, I've been doing this, it makes me feel old, but I've been doing this for 32 years. And I remember there was a bit of that like Zig Ziglar, Og Mandino thing that was very kind of formulaic. Yeah. Three-piece suit and holding the microphone just so. I feel like the platform now is just so much more, it's just that, it's authentic. And audiences can smell authenticity from a mile away. There are a lot of companies that are, they are moving away from the airbrushed ads, and they're declaring, I'm trying to think of the retailer, but they're talking about all their models, all of their print. There's nothing that's digitally enhanced.
Sure.
And people are beating a path to their door because they find it very refreshing. In a virtual session that we just did, in the middle of the session, the presenter's earring fell off. And I remember thinking, that's kind of cool. It's like, that's not scripted. It's like, it's very spontaneous and real. And it's not like that's something that you came to.
Well, I think you've got to be. I mean, we've all got that friend or a family member or maybe someone in the workplace who's just authentic and they are coming from a real place of self-awareness and they're passionate about whatever. If you were to talk to me about any number of things that you're passionate about, I'm engaged because I'm, this guy's legit.
Right.
It could be anything, and I'm there. And so I think if you're able just to do that from a stage, it makes it a lot more enjoyable and palatable for someone in the audience. I kind of am who I am. You can probably even off this video tell that I'm relaxed, and I like to have a smile on my face and see that move onto others' faces too as I speak. So I try that, and it's a big thing for me. It really is. I mean, I'm very flattered when people say, "Oh, you're so relatable." I love that.
Right.
And I also, I always check with the AV crew after. I'm like, "Oh yeah, did you guys enjoy that?" And if they've enjoyed it, I know I've done a good job because they see a million speakers.
Right.
This is a real story, actually. Where was it? I did a talk a couple of weeks ago somewhere, and I asked the guy before, the AV tech guy. There's a whole team of them, but my contact, I think his name's Colin, and I said, "Who's the best speaker you've ever seen?" And he said, I can't remember, it was a politician, oddly enough, but great. And then afterwards, I went back there just to say, I was like, did you like the talk? And he was in tears. And he said, you asked me that because you knew I would say you. And I'm not saying that to plug myself. I just think if you can affect the people in front of you in the seats and the person who's listened to a million talks behind, I think it's a good indicator you're doing.
Well, and the content, you're communicating elements of your story and the arc of your experience. It's incredibly relatable, but it's also very applicable.
Yeah.
There isn't, whether it's the CEO in the front row or the AV tech guy in the back row, it's like everybody can relate to it because we're all human.
We're all human, and I think goal setting is again, it's a vehicle for transformation as an individual, as a family, as a community, as a business. And I think goals are implicitly part of being a human. And without them, you drift. With them, you grow. Yeah. So I think, I'm not what's the term? I'm not reinventing the wheel. Yeah. I'm just talking about something from an experiential past that I think I can bring to the table in a really interesting, engaging way. And we all want to feel good. That, me, and anyone who happens to be watching this, the people who have been moving things around as we've been speaking, we want to feel good. So it's a matter of identifying what will make me feel good in every aspect of our life, and then doing it.
Of course. One last thought here, and I feel like Seb is exhibit A of this quality. There's an old chestnut in the business where platform presenters who clearly enjoy and love what they do will say behind the scenes, I speak for free because I love it so much, and I love touching people and moving hearts and minds.
Yeah.
But I get paid to travel and deal with the indignities of TSA. And,
Oh, that's really funny.
And yeah, seeing this guy on the platform, you can just tell the person in the room that's having the most fun is you.
Yeah.
Because you just look like you're having a great time.
I am, thank you.
Yeah.
Also, I have an event, just talking about the travel, I have another event in Austin in 2 days. We're in Arizona. I forgot my ID. I told you the trouble, I was barely allowed on the plane to get here. So I actually, in case I'm not allowed on the plane later today after this event, I just Googled how long it would take me to drive to Austin, 17 hours. But I'm willing to do it.
Yeah.
Because I'm getting paid for it.
All right. Well, on that note, thanks for all you do.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Thank you for making us look like geniuses when we recommend you to customers. And if you're looking for something that is going to make people laugh, cry, but get them thinking differently about their own lives and just incredibly heartfelt content, that's your guy.
I really appreciate it.
Cheers.
Thank you.
See you soon. Bye.